Hey everyone, and welcome to the Security Breach Iceberg. I've been working on a script for a while. This iceberg has 98 topics, and it's this is gonna be a long video, just to say the least. If you don't know what an iceberg is, which, well, let's be real, like you know, the more known topics are at the top of the iceberg, and then the less known topics are at the bottom. And it just gets darker as it goes down. So yeah, that's what this is for Security Breach. Around 30% of these topics I made, and then the other 70% I found an iceberg on Reddit. And so credit to the guy who made the iceberg. His name will be on the screen. Look at him. Wow. Without further ado, let's dive into the water and tip our toes into the full Security Breach iceberg. Every single human who has at this point heard of Security Breach knows Security Breach had an incredibly buggy release as a result of the dev team rushing it out. They even had to delay the game to the end of 2021. That's a 2-year gap. They rushed it because the fans were getting a bit angsty and a little bit angry. I don't even know how it was this buggy, but over the next few months they would patch most of the bugs. But people like Astral Spiff abused the bugs, and I've watched over this whole game the whole way through, so I have seen it all. This is talking about the new teaser and up-and-coming 2023 free DLC for Security Breach, which Gregory asked for help, and the new girl protagonist inside the destroyed ruined mall. This is basically all we know until the trailer comes out. The Tales from the Pizzaplex are a new book series releasing and still releasing. I don't read any of the FNaF books, and I don't plan on reading these, but they look interesting based on the covers. And there are 4 revealed so far, but 7 in total. The first is showing this doll, and it's called Lally's Game. This is the only book that's out right now as I'm writing the script, but the next one shows a giant... I don't know what this is, but it looks kind of like DJ Music Man. The third is called Somnophobia, which is the fear of sleep, and it shows moon, moondrop, sunrise, the daycare attendant. I don't know. The fourth and final book cover released so far has gone through a few changes with a couple of redesigns, but it just shows a weird mermaid now. And Submechanophobia is the fear of man-made items underwater. Yeah, I've spent enough time on these books already. Let's move on. This is referring to the Helpy on the save stations and around the Pizzaplex, along with some promotional art. This is the new Helpy variant called Glamrock Helpy to fit the new vibe of the game, and he looks very nice. That's all. These are the 2 posters found around the Pizzaplex. These posters depict and show a glimpse of Fredbear's Family Diner for the first time in the series, besides the 8-bit minigames. They're styled as advertisements, as there's one with Fredbear found on the staff bot table underground, and the other with Spring Bonnie found next to the bathroom behind some towel racks. While Security Breach was still being developed, it was delayed from its original release mid-2021, and it was put till the end of 2021. Since people got mad, Scott had a game prepared for this. It was a small game available on GameJolt, like a Street Fighter, where you would pick your animatronics and fight on different levels. Though this game also had some heavy lore implications. Though this game also had some heavy lore implications as well, like the contents of the FNaF 4 box as the final boss, and the VR sisters, which will be explained later. Martus Vitek, man, you got a lame last name, is the voice actor of Gregory, Roxanne, and Vanny. I don't know why this is on here, maybe because she voiced 3 characters. I don't know. Security Breach's trailers are so misleading. They showed us a whole different game, and there was so much cut content from the trailers. I'm willing to bet that there's more cut content than isn't in the game that is in the game. That was a sentence. So I'm gonna do a little montage, and let's see what was cut in the trailers.
Gregory. It was
Gregory.
When I first...
Gregory can get you out. None of them will stop.
I say, if you will.
See you again soon.
Kellingoff is the voice actor for many of the Five Nights at Freddy's characters, like Funtime Freddy, both of the daycare attendants, and Glamrock Freddy. That's it. I don't know if I'm missing some kind of controversy here, but yeah, that was a little fun little segment, wasn't it? First was a teaser that first released on Scott Games and was an altered version of Freddy's poster, but with Vanny at the top, faintly visible, standing there menacingly with a knife tipped to the floor. And the other teaser showed her in a room full of screens, kind of like this one in the trailers. She's supposed to be a killer and kill kids. This is a dark series about child murderers, and she has no knife. She just picks you up. She picks you up! This one is concerning the room that can be found inside the Mega Pizzaplex that is an eerily accurate recreation of one of the rooms in the FNaF 4 house, or the house Michael returns to every night in Sister Location. And playing on it is a looped intro of the Freddy and Friends on Tour episodes, and next to it, a code. But we'll get to that later. So during the event known as Security Breach's atrocity of a stable release, there was a bug with the system on not saving after 6 a.m. See, usually after 6 a.m. you can't save. The game literally disables it. It's hardcore mode. If you die, you reset all the way back to 6. But there was a bug where if you went to Roxy Raceway, you could get the robot head again, and then activate the trigger in the code to change the game to 5:15, allowing you to use save points again. Pretty smart. The Security Breach TV, or securitybreachtv.com, is still up today, and you can visit it, though it's pretty useless. For a long time before the second gameplay trailer, we were getting no news about the game, until one day when this website popped up, continuing as the source for Security Breach news updates at the time, showing off the Freddy and Friends on Tour episodes bi-weekly after the first one for a total of 4 episodes with glitches in them, and reveals at the end, getting more and more glitchy until the next trailer came out soon after. This one is talking about the fire ending where Freddy jumps off a building with Vanny instead of just pushing her off or socking her in the face for some reason. When they both die, Gregory runs down the stairs that are on the side of the building to see them both dead. By the way, if someone jumped off a building, they would not be able to land in that position. And Gregory leans in to unmask her, and behold, it's Vanessa! Whoa, what a surprise, you know? Whoa! This payoff falls short of everything a payoff should be, but that's just another topic for another time. And later shows Vanessa standing at the top of a building, watching as it burns to the ground. This is probably just a metaphor for the duo between Vanny and Vanessa and her good and bad side and Glitch Trap, or some sort of redemption, but it serves for another twin theory that will come later as well. Speaking about Vanny, there's a set of CDs hidden all over the map that you can collect, and when you enter the Sister Location room, next to everything else there's a little CD player on the wall, and when playing all the discs, it reveals a lot of information. There are supposed 2 main characters, one that's very optimistic and one that's very cynical and keeps the lights off and does not talk. Through these 16 discs, supposed Vanessa is going to therapy and goes to a different therapist each time. And every time they mention the encoded, encrypted messages with Glitch Trap, she eliminates them or kills them so the evidence doesn't get out. The other patient is very mysterious though. We don't know if it's a different person or if she acts like that when she's being controlled by Glitch Trap. We still don't know, but it makes me think that this isn't the last time we're gonna see Vanny, and this is just the beginning. Then again, she was marketed as the main villain for the game, and most of her content was cut, but that pops up later, like everything else. What a confused game. Oh, what? Me? Oh, I'm just getting a Gatorade because my voice hurts. Why am I wearing headphones? I'm not listening to anything. Believe it or not, remember Sun, Sundrop, Sunrise, Sunny Drop, the daycare attendant? I don't know. Well, the room they live in is actually possible to get to. If you dare go in, you find a lot of junk and a big mess. But behind all the rubble, there's a small room etched into the wall. The contents of the main room contain more junk. What a surprise. But there's also another one of the 5 playable arcade machines. 3 of them being the Princess Quest games, 1 being the Monty Golf minigame, and this one being a Flappy Bird ripoff, where you play as Balloon Boy to avoid obstacles and collect balloons along the way. As you go, you're given a mysterious purple trail that doesn't fit the rest of the minigame, and venturing into them grants you an evil scene of the sun hinting at some sort of virus, glitch, or corruption. Soon after, it grows to the size of your screen and crashes the minigame. This is concerning the fact that Security Breach was supposed to have no loading screens to ruin the immersion, but later they added them when loading a save with a cute little help me animation from Help Wanted Mobile, and pro tips, but the pro tips shown on screen are using the default Unreal Engine text font. That's just a little bit goofy, isn't it? In Monty Golf, there's a very unnoticeable and nonchalant arcade machine in the middle of the first floor with actual playable golf. This is cool. There are 9 levels, it's actually very polished and fun, and there's also some levels themed on older FNaF games. Some of them are just golf themed, and some of them you're going around the Pizzaplex. There's even a level you go golfing near a stage, and on the stage are Roxy and Chica, and Monty in the front. You know where Freddy is? Yeah, he's in the garbage. He got bodied.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, this shows Monty really does have a salty attitude towards Freddy, and could actually have the strength and willingness to kill Bonnie. There's also a whopping 7 unused maps for no reason. There could have been just more game if they polished them up a little bit, but no? A strange decision and proves how unfinished this game was. But yeah, overall, a nice addition to the game. The golden plushies are golden variants of the existing animatronics as plushies. I know, right? Astonishing, and are found around the map. Only by collecting them you can get the fire ending though. I don't know why, but yeah, this is a necessity for the fire ending and escaping through the other exit. In case you're wondering, my favorite of these Funko Blacklight recolors is the moon one. It looks so cool. Look at him. Appreciate him. In one of the message bag things, you can unveil a log explaining the disappearances of the wind-up Music Man toys found next to the vent where you escaped the tiny kiddo. Quote, well, somehow someone broke into the Rockstar Row display case and stole the wind-up toy Music Man prototypes. The case was smashed and there's glass on the floor but no sign of a break-in. Something else seems to be missing. I have absolutely no idea how they got into the building and there's nothing in the security footage. Now what should I do? Should I call the police and report a break-in? Vanessa. We don't really know who stole them or if this is really important. This is probably just the one in the vents that we see in the game, or maybe even broke out of the case itself. Alive. This is referring to the recreation of the Afton family in the underground man cave sticky note lair. After some random Vanny chase that was probably a last minute afterthought with no scripted anything and a wee tussle with Scrap Chica, you find yourself in a room where Vanny or someone else is supposedly writing a bunch of binary and stuff that I would put on my door in 5th grade like, danger, gamers only. Venturing upstairs, you find a table I mentioned earlier with the staff bots. Each staff bot vividly depicts each member of the Afton family. You got the crying child, you got Michael Afton, you got William Afton himself, you got Mother Afton, I don't know her name, and you got Elizabeth Afton, all depicted as this one family sitting around this table. It's a cool reference, and it was a fun thing to see. At the near beginning of the game, when exiting Rockstar Row and going down the stairs in Freddy, you find an endoskeleton, and of many that appear later in the game, it has 2 unique features that aren't normal compared to the others. When was that established? This is literally the most replayed part in dawkos' first video, so it does show intrigue, but nothing's really done with this for the rest of the game. I have no idea what this is referring to, other than the voice line of Freddy saying this. Some theories people have are that he's neglecting his past as the character Freddy Fazbear and is going to save Gregory, or that different endos have been used to put on Freddy's casing, showing that he truly isn't the Glamrock Freddy. But these are all just theories. A game theory! All the staff bots and security breach are animated at like 10 FPS for some reason. If it's a stylistic choice, it's cool. I don't know if it's stylistic or a bug that they decided to keep, because this game is so buggy, I don't even know. Wait, never mind. This is a bug! How does a bug like this even happen? On June 16th, 2021, Scott Cawthon posted a message on his website announcing his retirement from the public game development and expressing gratitude towards his followers for their ongoing support. He stated that he wished to retire in order to spend more time with his children. He stated his intention was to appoint a successor to ensure the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise would carry on, while he himself would continue to occupy a lesser role in its development. It's unknown if he will retain Five Nights at Freddy's intellectual property, continue working on the movie, or make any further creative decisions regarding the franchise. Yeah, I didn't write any of that. That was the Wikipedia page copy and pasted. This is an interview Dawko did with Steel Wool, the creators of Security Breach, and it was really exciting to watch on December 12th before release. And it's actually really interesting to watch after release, so go watch it. Link may be in the description, depends on if I remember. Glamrock Hippo is the multiverse version of Glamrock Freddy. In an alternate leaving ending where Gregory illegally drives a car and fixes Freddy with a car battery somehow, after you drive into the distance and live happily ever after, the game prompts you to an after credits scene that is a picture on a newspaper showing you a photograph of the main team of animatronics, Glamrock Chica, Roxanne Wolf, and Montgomery Gator. But instead of Glamrock Freddy, there's Mr. Hippo from Five Nights at Freddy's 6, Glam Rockified, in the back, playing the best instrument a band could have, a triangle. Which is also the easiest percussion instrument to have a role in a band. It's so easy to follow which measure you're on, and usually I'm gonna play like 3 or 4 notes. Yeah, did you like how I turned the sentence, after the credits you see a picture of the band, but with Mr. Hippo instead of Freddy, into a paragraph with an extravagant amount of commas? 8 to be exact. Under the Pizzaplex tunnel so you can find an exact replica of what's going on in the school bathrooms. A couple of staff bots ominously surrounded a scrapped dead one lying on the floor. The watch used to have an old UI and some sort of ticket system. That's all we saw until they demolished the UI into looking like a Brit's dental health. Okay, so this is another one of many things I've added to this iceberg. I've not really seen anyone talk about this before, but why did Gregory repair the robot head? Well, because he wants to fix the driver and go on the go-kart. But why? Why does he want to go on the go-kart? To have fun? But he's trying to escape the Pizzaplex and hide. Why would he do that? To race Roxanne? This is never brought up ever. During the cutscene where we see him driving, they never brought up that Roxy was gonna be there. So did he just hope that they would run her over? If so, why would she jump onto the track? And why would Gregory kamikaze the go-kart? But kamikazing the go-kart might damage her eyes. By the way, how are her eyes not demolished after he hit her directly in the face? In fact, how are any of the animatronics parts you get functional? Chica gets crushed, Monty gets snapped in half and his claws are fine? Anyway, absolutely none of this makes sense with the go-karts. With Monty, you have to have him go under a bucket and then you dump it on him, which kind of doesn't make sense either, but it's not all that bad. And Chica, you have clear intentions to lure her in with the food and crush her. But with this, nothing adds up and shows the devs were clearly gonna do something else in the first place, like 1v1ing Roxy Mario Kart style. How has no one mentioned this? Survival mode was a planned game mode, half built, but not near finished. In the unfinished patch of the game, in the files, there are a bunch of unused features and options, but one of the only working ones is survival mode, with a built UI featuring options for difficulty, hour length, and lives. This is supposed to be a survive until the hour ends game mode and collect certain gifts. I can see this working if they put more time into the game, and this could serve for a lot of replayable content, but Steel Wool. Wow, more content. What a surprise. The other functioning button on the unused version is the character gallery, which is fully done? It's just like the help wanted gallery where you can see all the animatronics. This would have been a cool addition. Why isn't it there? Where did it go? Did they forget to add it? And it also shows every single arcade machine model for some reason. Mookie. Hi Dave. Customer complaint. You should fire Dave. He sucks. This one really confuses me in terms of how Glitchtrap was presented in the game's hype. He was obviously in Help Wanted, and it was hinted that Vanny and Glitchtrap were going to be the secret main villains of the next game, with a lot of plot relevance. None of that happened. Glitchtrap wasn't in the game. He's nowhere to be found. Glitchtrap wasn't in any of the game's marketing, which confused me back then, because all the mystery of the game and the arm at the end of the trailer was obviously Glitchtrap, right? Well, no, not really. Vanny was marketed a lot, but Glitchtrap wasn't, for a reason. Because he wasn't in the game! After all the non-character reveal glitches in the Freddy and Friends on Tour episodes were put together, this popped up. It created this Glitchtrap mural. This made me so excited. This pretty much proved Glitchtrap was going to be the overarching villain of the game, but...
Will Glitchtrap make a return?
The figure's right there. I mean... that counts.
But, no, I guess not. Old elevator could be referring to two different things. One is just the old elevator leading to the underground FNaF 6 pizzeria with the blob and Afton and all that. Or the glass elevator shown in the trailer with Vanessa looking sad. This elevator was probably not for just loading in places, but rather to actually transport by moving instead of teleporting. And it looks cool. I don't know why this was scrapped, but yeah, I don't know which one this is referring to, or if I even missed the meaning of it. Patient 46 is the mysterious side of the CDs, childish yet intimidating. They seem to be the one hacking the Pizzaplex and glitching it, as described in the 5th and latest therapist findings, as said by one of the therapists. It began infecting all the machines, and when the techs traced the glitch back to its origin, it led them to you. I'm not gonna pretend I understand everything I'm reading here, but what I get is that the system-wide glitch was like a cascade, and it was broadcasting a very dangerous message. While the techs were trying to reprogram the system to remove the glitch shifted. You'll have to excuse me, I'm not all that familiar with computer programming, so I might get this wrong, but what I understand is the glitch stopped being a glitch and turned into an intentional set of subroutines that were aimed at creating the same thing the glitch created. Those subroutines seem to have come from you. This shows the therapists are starting to put things together. The paper pals are actually in Security Breach. In Bonnie Bull in certain places, there are paper pals hanging out at the Circus Baby ice cream parlor and in the tunnels where Monty Mystery Mix is located. Strange how these return not in the cases in Rockstar Row, but actually around the Pizzaplex. What a strange tradition. So in the original trailers for Security Breach and teasers, Vanessa was portrayed as a good guy, with the lines such as, "Gregory, we can get you out of here, you and me together," or, "They won't stop hunting you. None of them will stop hunting you," and, "We'll have to get you out by morning." That's my Vanessa, impression. Assuming her to be the protagonist or side protagonist of the game, all these lines make sense. But that's not what we got. Where did all this voice acting and cut content go? All of us were thinking that during the game she'd be helping us in going through mental battles with Glitchtrap and then turn into Vanny and have us escape her and very quickly switch gameplay styles and run from our once friend. But no, she's a bad guy and has a Karen jump scare. This goes against everything we knew and is a very odd choice to change, but sure, I guess. This is referencing a message you find in the arcade with Music Man talking about the DJ. I'll let my past video take this one. Congratulations on your installation of the new and improved DJ Music Man. The DJ MM features eons of musical enjoyment using a patented technique called improv, royalty free. No two songs are ever the same. Save a fortune on cleanup. Using a series of connected tubes, the DJ Music Man can run cleaning routines between set lists, and if need ever arises, activate the new Bouncer Mode. Warning, Bouncer Mode is still under development. Use of Bouncer Mode will void your warranty. I'm still not sure what Bouncer Mode is, though I might be dumb, and it might just be what we are experiencing during the entire Music Man section. Who knows? This game already confuses me enough. When the game doesn't feature the highlight of the hype and trailers, you know it's gonna be bad. I'm talking about you, Glitchtrap. He is the one shining thing, despite the games opposing his whole existence. Now that I'm reading that doesn't really make sense. To be fair, he was barely advertised, if even at all, but he was set up as the new main villain, as the new era of FNaF. But look again, Afton grew teeth, and he has more ankle guts, and he has a design. And look, guys, look, he's cool. Look at him. Look, he's there. He's all around. He's right here. Boom, 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 boom. He's everywhere. Glitchtrap is so creepy, dude, and they had it all set up. I'm looking at you, director of Security Breach. Why couldn't this arm be something cool? But there's still room for Glitchtrap to be explored more in DLC, or more reasonably, future games. You guys are hyping up the DLC, but it's gonna be like 3 hours long. Even the name Security Breach references a hack, or a glitch, or a breach in the system. Glitchtrap taking over the mall and using all the technology he can to stop anyone from getting out would be amazing. Maybe he's even hopping in and out of the animatronics with his main physical form as taking over Vanessa. But no, the name Security Breach refers to a child that snuck in. Freddy found that so surprising that he had to pass out. This is the pizzeria under the Pizzaplex. Around here you can find Endos, a useless security bot, the abandoned and slightly burned FNaF Pizzaplex. It would have been a lot cooler to have Fredbear's Family Diner under the Pizzaplex. It would make a lot more sense, because this place didn't burn to the ground, and also, it was hinted at during the game. But how it is, we see a pretty normal pizzeria that has some elements from FNaF 6, and a big hole in the middle. Which leads to the Afton fight. So, yeah, that was a pretty failed reveal. Also, Big Freddy. This is referencing the obvious fact that Glamrock Bonnie is gone in Security Breach and replaced by Monty. Bonnie has a few references in the game though, such as the line, "There is no rabbit at the Mega Pizzaplex, not anymore," or when inside Bonnie Bull, a reference by itself by the way, Freddy says, "I do not come up here anymore, I miss him." Or he could be referencing the Foxy cage right next to the voice line trigger. Which one is it? Is it Bonnie or Foxy? Which one do you miss? But some of the biggest hints about what actually happened to Bonnie are in the messages. All of the many bags found around the Pizzaplex carry messages, and a few actually talk about Bonnie's death, like this one, titled, "Missing, 12:24 a.m. Bonnie is seen leaving his green room in Rockstar Row, heading towards the atrium. 2:30 a.m. Bonnie enters the East Arcade. 4:12 a.m. Bonnie enters Monty Golf." And a follow-up message titled, "Understudy," states, "Management report. With Bonnie out of commission, we are making Monty the new bass player. Parts and service has already done enough proper adjustments. This could be a good thing. Monty could be more popular than Bonnie." This hints at one key detail, that Monty is involved with the death and disappearance of Glamrock Bonnie. As shown in the golf minigame, Monty is willing to discard and kill other animatronics just to get more fame and control for himself. And with his muscle and claws, he has the power to do it. So when Bonnie enters Monty Golf, he is killed, presumably by Monty. There's also this poster of Glamrock Bonnie in the Pizzaplex. That's the general consensus on all this, but I really think that this is supposed to be misleading us, and I actually have my own theory. I think that Glamrock Bonnie was snatched up or attacked by the blob in Monty Golf, since it has a lot of hiding spots and a high ceiling. And at the end, his endoskeleton and exoskeleton were used to rebuild Afton a new body. But that's just a theory. Okay, that's the second time I made that joke. I'm going to eat a child. Wow, now that I'm reading this back to back, the joke about consuming children is a really ironic placement because this topic is labeled child disappearances. For the reason of keeping the game rated at E, and so kids could enjoy it because, you know, child murderers and people getting sent to hell is appealing to kids. Somehow they even failed that goal and could have kept Vanny's knife and all of that because this game is rated teen anyway. All we see about this is Freddy referencing kids missing and the ending where it shows you the newspaper with all the kids on it. And in the first teaser trailer, Vanny says, "Your friends are worried about you. They're here with me. Please come out." Paralleling the fact that there are missing children, this must be Vanny's little Funko Pop collection of Gregory's captive friends, or the more realistic approach of her lying about them trying to lure Gregory out, and that Security Breach doesn't have the budget to make more than 3 human models for the game. But yeah, apparently Vanny is supposed to be killing kids without a knife and less than 3 minutes of screen time. Cool. Understandable. Vanny actually had a different voice before the game came out, and it was actually so good. It was ominous, realistic, and perfect instead of this "are you having fun yet" shenanigans. Here's the first teaser.
Gregory, your friends are worried about you. They're here with me. Please come out. Gregory, I may have lost my temper earlier, but it was just a glitch. It won't happen again. It's been such a difficult day for all of us. Why don't you come out and we can play a game together? It won't happen again. It was just a glitch.
Gregory, be still. I think she's found us.
Yeah, that's really all. This one's odd because her voice was also featured in the NVIDIA showcase, but it was a mix between Glitch and her normal voice.
Gregory. It's getting late. Let's get you home. And put you to bed.
I see you. Yeah, overall, a pretty weird decision to make and a last-minute choice because the new one just sounds like my voice in the morning. Are you having fun yet? Steelwool gave Vanny some harsh treatment during development, didn't they? Also, Vanny's jump scare was changed. Anyway, that's the segment. Also, if you are having fun yet, then make sure to like and subscribe to this video, because channel, like button, comment, share, add to your playlist, download YouTube Premium, put it on Quora, Reddit, post Google Classroom, for God knows why, because only a small percent. A big shout out to Mooks for this segment of the video, who ripped the OST from the game for all of us. Also a big shout out to pirating YouTube MP3s. Because this game lost so much of its soundtrack to cutting content in favor of this ambience that I have memorized, and the animatronic violin waterphone noise, here's all 8 songs and a little description of them. Honestly, most of these are absolute bangers. Honestly, most of these are absolute bangers and are in my playlist. I'm talking about You Venta Black, the sequel. This is referring to the old man in Princess Quest and how we don't really know who he's supposed to be. That's it. This is referencing the arcade machine with the game titled House of the Bear, with art of Ignited Freddy standing in the doorway. And another arcade game located inside the West Arcade that has art of Ignited Body on the side of it as House of Bear 2. This was probably one of the things Scott asked the team to put in, as mentioned in dawkos Steelwool interview, because Scott would hit them up and sometimes ask them to put things in the game. They didn't know what they meant, but they put it in anyway, because Scott wanted it. This is such a cool Easter egg in the game to commend the Joy of Creation's excellence. There's staff bots that look like Baby from Sister Location and the Ice Cream Parlor. What a short and sweet segment. There was also a lot of different unused staff models in the files for Security Breach. Like these. What a short and sweet little segment. In Security Breach, Gregory commits a lot of crimes, and here's a list of them that include trespassing, sneaking into the Pizzaplex, evading authorities, hiding from Vanessa, accessory to destruction of property, breaking things in the Pizzaplex alongside Freddy, operating a machine without a license 4 times, Pizzabot, the go-karts, the car, and the parts and service machine, destruction of property 5 times, Chica, Roxy, Montgomery, Mattbot, and the outdoors, operating a motor vehicle as a minor, driving the car, in the good escape ending, operating a vehicle without a license or registration, also driving the car in the good escape ending, accessory to arson, burning down the Pizzaplex with Freddy, accessory to manslaughter, pressing the button and killing Vanny, accessory to aggravated arson, the same as accessory to arson, first degree murder, he ran towards the opportunity of killing Vanny, not away from it, and arson, the same thing as aggravated arson, theft, Freddy upgrades, security passes, a car, food, and other items, and Freddy himself, espionage, basically all the files in the game. Como todos los juegos, existen juegos de Roblox al respecto, y hay un juego específico que estoy mencionando aquí que en realidad ha robado activos y animatrónicos. Encontré esto cuando estaba haciendo mi video de robos de Roblox de violación, seguridad y que reprodució fuera de cámara. Así que reproduje y salieron con más partes a medida que apreciaron, pero de forma bastante rápida y alarmante me di cuenta de que literalmente robaban módulos y animatrónicos de juego. Y es bastante descuidado también. Si nunca has juegos este juego, te recomiendo encarentemente que no los juegos, porque es malo. The joke there was that I was bored, so I decided to write that part in Spanish. In Five Nights at Freddy's 6, there's the coolest ending to the franchise we could have asked for. This very iconic ending is one of those things I love in games, iconic sequences. In this ending, Henry burns down the pizza place, specifically the one below the Pizzaplex in Security Breach, and he states how everything that happened can finally be put to rest, scorching down the place to a crisp while monologuing about the animatronic souls he is putting to rest. And during that, displaying images of the animatronics finally dying, and then showing William Afton as Henry exclaims the iconic line, "But for you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, my old friend," as he goes on to talk about his daughter the puppet and how it ends for everyone. End communication. This is perfect, and everything anyone could have asked for, probably. But then Security Breach throws it out the window, and we try and burn him for the third time and kill him with the same device we tried to last time. Haha, joke's on you, Henry. Your friend isn't in hell. You are! And he's living quite fine as an endoskeleton with a brain, and he even grew teeth. And Molten Freddy is back, and he actually has every animatronic in the series with him. And Henry's ending did absolutely nothing, and he's back now. Yay! I don't really see many people noticing this one, but I have seen people bring it up in comment sections and a few videos, so I decided to put it here because it's a cool little detail. Balora's music box from Sister Location isn't in Security Breach directly, but yet again, in the trailers as music. In the first gameplay trailer that I've probably watched 100 times now, right here is Balora's tune. Here's a little listen in comparison. That was a really cool detail that I noticed after a couple of watches to hype myself up for the game. And I genuinely thought, because of that hint, that the hand at the end of the trailer was Ballora. As William Afton's wife, this would make sense as an alternative villain if they figured it out and did it correctly. Maybe Glitchtrap could possess Ballora's old body using his wife's dead... You get the point. So yeah, cool detail, but missed opportunity. When some of the first teasers were posted on scottgames.com, not only did people go ballistic, but they also looked for every possible secret they could find. Brightening the image, decoding every color to see if William Afton's color was in it, darkening the image to see any specific hints. Why this kid is not like the rest of them. You can name it, someone out there has tried. But they could find nothing, except for in the source code of the website. Looking at the source code of the image on the site led some people to discovering this text supposedly being a conversation between Vanny and Glitchtrap.
Stay on the course.
I will.
Focus on my voice.
I will.
Don't let anyone lead you astray.
I won't.
Have you slept with one?
I have.
This is completely absent from the plot of the game, but originally we thought Glitchtrap was telling Vanny to choose a child and then do away with them. Maybe collect the remnant to help Afton build a body again, and to not disobey him or face the consequences, setting up Vanny and Glitchtrap as a colossal threat. The VR Sisters is suggesting the fact that there are two sisters, Vanny and Vanessa. And this is the confusing thing about FNaF lore. If there was not contrasting evidence, this would completely prove the twin theory along with Patient 46. In Fury's Rage, the delay game I talked about at the beginning of the video, there are a lot of enemies, but a particular set of girls stand out. They are two different colors and slightly altered neon women wearing VR headsets. If you remember in Help Wanted, the girl explaining what happened during the development of the game and how Jeremy was You get the gist. And how she knew how to destroy Glitchtrap. In the twin theory, that might be Vanessa, and Vanny might be her sister, who gave in to Glitchtrap and did all his evil side quests. But none of this is really referenced to in Security Breach. It's so difficult to solve theories in FNaF because there's always at least one contrasting piece of evidence that completely disproves the theory. During the development of Curse of Dreadbear, Help Wanted received a 3 MB update. When you went to the prize counter and got the exotic butters, you could empty them out and just chug all of them, and that revealed a secret button at the bottom. Pressing that button turned on the TV in the top left, and then the TV presents a screen of a teaser for the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, showing Dreadbear's hand popping out of the ground. So with that info, disregard all of it because this is talking about a different teaser. When in the pizza party minigame, during the ending, where you have Glitchtrap and you choose a piece of cake kind of thing and he lures you into the closet, there was a door that you could go to instead of going to Glitchtrap, and that would reveal the building of a giant mall next to a street covered in snow. That was the first we'd ever seen of the Pizzaplex, and people were going crazy. Hey, it's post-editing stop drop here, and that was the wrong reference, and that was the wrong. So what this is actually referring to is, bro, it's hot in here, bro. That's better. So what this is actually referring to is in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, there's a Foxy minigame with the corn maze. And in this minigame, you can find different colored keys to lead to their respectively colored matching exits. But if you gather all the keys, it grants you permission to gain a new special key that then can be used to unlock the secret underground door that leads to this.
Game over! Claim your prize and axe with a mask! Oh my god! Oh my god, I did it!
Bro, it's so hot. This underground place is some sort of like Discord moderator cabin or a millennial in the 2000s bedroom. And it has the first sight of Vanny we ever saw. This mask. So yeah, hopefully I got it right this time. If I didn't, I guess you're gonna see another clip, but yeah, next topic.
So, quick little story. I'm currently being chased by the cops. That doesn't really matter. What does matter is that, I got the Curse of Dreadbear reference wrong again. So, instead of it, being the whole Vanny mask, or before that, both of the teasers leaning towards Security Breach, well, I realized then they would have worded it as in Security Breach reference in Curse of Dreadbear or Help Wanted, right? Well, they didn't reference it like that. The thing says Curse of Dreadbear reference, which obviously says that the reference is in Security Breach, and it's referencing Curse of Dreadbear. So what this is actually referencing, finally, is that, what this is actually referencing is in the Rockstar row, you have all the things in the cases, right? And then alongside those, there's a Foxy cutout with all the stuff from the Curse of Dreadbear DLC from Help Wanted. So maybe a theory that this could be leading to is that, you could have that the Curse of Dreadbear and Help Wanted were actually real, since they have physical evidence of the stuff that was there. I think I lost him. So yeah, I think out of everything that I was trying to reference, I finally got it right. I was just a little bit confused, and I think I finally got it right. This is it. I'll see you guys back at the desk. So if I can get this footage out legally, the video will continue. But if not, you're never gonna see this. So let's find out.
Chica's Feeding Frenzy is a hidden arcade minigame in debug mode that's basically complete, and it looks pretty fun. It's basically a bullet hell shooter from the top down view where your Glamrock Chica icon collects and absorbs different items to upgrade itself, and you shoot the cannons in different enemies. There are even some mini bosses with spread attacks, but during the latter half of the game, the programmers decided to keyframe the hue shift a lot and make it glitch, which looks pretty cool until you die, setting a high score. This would work perfectly in the game as a fun minigame. It's polished, and other than the UI and text font, it's glowy and looks like you're on an arcade machine. A little goofy, silly thing to put in the game, to spice it up an extra 0.5%. But the reason they might not have included this is because the enemies are kind of bugged and just sit there half the time. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. Vanny was originally supposed to have a boss fight. This makes me think and know that she was supposed to be the main villain like they set her up to be. But the only reason I know this is because of, yet again, the unfinished build. There's a UI button that says... Vanny fight! I don't know if this would lead to the capture of Vanny Are You Having Fun Yet sequence, or a new battle with Vanny with different mechanics, but it's sad that we never got to see this in action. When you visit the Michael Afton TV room, there's a mysterious code on the wall with a bunch of weird and complicated shapes, and no one knew where a key was or how to find a clue or how to decipher it. Then people started picking up on the clues. There was a Freddy and Friends cartoon playing, so that was our first guess to solving it. So we went back to the cartoons and inspected the glitches. This basically said to separate the alphabet into 6 groups, to reverse it into 5, 3, and 1, and from Z to E to alphabet and 5, 3, and 1, and a bunch of other anagrams. Break and mend, I build the breath. They hunt now, drawn to life, not real, still keen, and frit and fraught with thought and zest and jest, no blunt woes. Dodge, duck, flash, shoot, crawl, run. Crush the vile band. Pry not, try not, do not hold out. Hope, your life, your aim will save these with soul. So this just sounds like the story of Michael Afton and William Afton as some convoluted poem. I'm very intrigued by this, and my small brain can't really comprehend English Unit 3. Poetry. This is gonna be another long rant section. Good luck. With all the trailers and all the stuff shown in Security Breach, we didn't expect it to be a kid's game. I thought that instead of the mall being the main part of the game, we would mostly be venturing underground where all the soundtrack belongs and where we would find hidden mysteries and broken down abominations. Meanwhile, dealing with Vanny and her knife and the possession of Glitch Trap, speaking through animatronics to burn us and try and torment us as we try to escape, or to explore deeper to learn the truth to all these mysteries. Gregory cries as Vanny looks for him and Vanessa battles Glitch Trap's wrath within herself. The trashy underground was clearly what the soundtrack and trailer reveals were hinting towards. Just look at these endings. The trash staff bots, a Vanny jump scare, Vanny and Vanessa evil voice line, the William Afton arm cameo, the the thing where he goes, this game was supposed to be darker. Even Vanny walking menacingly in the trailers and the Glamrocks having red eyes and trying to lure out Gregory shows that this is supposed to be a dark game like the rest of the series. And Vanny's first cameo in the actual game is actually really good. They had it all set up. The game clearly went through a rewrite during development and during the massive delay to the end of 2021, because all the trailers from then on got more clear to how the game is now, with almost all the footage containing less than half of what we saw before. Security Breach should have been the dark game that they hinted it up to be. Even the FNaF AR lore had the dark stuff. This is something later down the iceberg that I'm gonna discuss. In the FNaF AR lore, leading up to FNaF 9, Security Breach, they talked about Vanessa looking at how far you can stab and cut a human in half before they lose consciousness. Like, dang, bro! And again, the unfinished build in Bonnie Bowl, you can actually play this very janky bowling minigame with little UI and the worst physics ever. And they even have bowling strike screens animated that look super cute and funny. Hopefully they'll add this in the patch or the DLC update or something. Just weird how they have a bowling alley without bowling. When entering the elevator for the final time in a normal playthrough, Vanessa inclines you to visit the stage, because you deserve a reward. But since you're already in the elevator, there's no real point. So when people were first trying to find the secret ending, this was their first thought, maybe expecting a payoff between Vanny and Vanessa. But no. Instead, when entering the stage, Moon jump scares you for a brief second, and a mission called Plan A pops into existence on your screen. Nobody has a clue what this means, but it's clearly an unfinished afterthought that was disappointing, even insulting to many people. But I'm still wondering where the reward was. For a long time in Security Breach, there was a bug in the game when obtaining the concert CD and the security badge in the office control room, and the lockdown commencing and Gregory having to fend off and shock the animatronics till Freddy arrives later. During this segment, you'll have to fend off the animatronics and shock them until Freddy arrives later. During this segment, you'll have Gregory shocking and fending off the animatronics to protect himself before Freddy arrives later. You'll have to press a button to open the doors when you see Freddy on the monitors. The bug was that you could just spam E on one of the buttons for a few seconds and instantly have Freddy arrive at your doorstep faster than your lost father when you win the lottery. A lot of speedrunners use this, and it cut down a lot of time off of their runs. When in the elevator going to the arcade to meet the best character in Security Breach, Music Man! Freddy starts to talk about how when he walks onto the West Arcade dance floor, he cannot stop himself. It is a programming bug. Unless there's some deep, extreme, confusing FNaF lore, GT Live game theory stuff, like I think it's just a funny joke by the Steel Wool developers. Or this could be referring to something I missed in Security Breach, or it could be referencing the Dancing Freddy gif as part of all the gifts they sent out to dawkos charity stream. Yeah, it's probably the Freddy bug. This is another instance concerning Roxanne Wolf that makes no sense. When you kill Roxy and gain free access to her eyeballs, you can use those to see through walls because she needs that to win races for some reason. In reality, Steel Wool just wanted to add a collectible finder within the last 10 minutes of the game. But in the fire ending, the only reason Freddy can take down Vanny is because he can see her now that he has Roxy's eyes. How does Freddy know Vanny actually exists? He should have been questioning Gregory's sanity throughout the whole game if Vanny is even real. He mentions Vanessa being like a bunny, but he shouldn't even know she exists until he gets Roxy's eyes and figures out Gregory was right the whole time. Yeah, but no, he could just see her, you know. On December 17th, 2015, The Silver Eyes came to life by a relatively new indie game developer called Scott Cawthon, and this book exploded. I just looked this crap up because... Like, I don't know what any of this crap is talking about. Ella and Theodore are in the same book, but are two different things. Ella is a doll that was created by Henry, along with Theodore, who's a rabbit plush. And when Henry disappeared, it got passed down to his son and daughter, and were haunted or something like that. And in Security Breach, in the Music Man Chase maintenance hall area, there's a little arcade machine with Ella and Theodore on it. Another one of those things Scott wanted the game to have. A nice little Easter egg. This is just a theory that Glamrock Freddy is, well, Michael Afton. This is a lame theory. I please, I pray to God that this is not true. Please, Steel Wool, please don't make this true. Like, I don't want this to be true, but then at the same time, I partially know it isn't. Like, one, I want the Afton thing to be over, and I thought it was like a new era when Help Wanted came out, but I guess not. And two, Steel Wool doesn't have the brain capabilities to come up with that. I don't think they would make Freddy Michael Afton after all, because he got burnt down in a pizzeria fire too, and after being stuffed full of an animatronic suit and throwing it back up, I don't think they would do that. Like, bro, like, how much does he have to suffer? But then again, the series also contains, swimming little Bonnies and Fazgoo, so... take with that what you will. Okay, so this is the elevator in the trailer where Vanessa is staring at you desperately as you go down. This elevator is the prize counter elevator, and it's not functional in the actual game. But instead, replacing the functionality of it going up and down, there's a trigger to a scripted sequence where Vanessa catches you and brings you to the Vanny escape segment. But if you do clip into the elevator using hacks, you can press the button and be brought to the entrance of the Pizzaplex where it's actually there. There's actually the elevator right there. These were probably originally connected, but then changed for story purposes. When the game released, the devs said that during development, Mapbot was one of the main causers for a lot of the game's bugs. And he was one of the hardest things to fix, program, and polish in the whole game. Including a bug where if you exited Freddy and got jump scared by Mapbot, he would warp you into your last hiding spot. This is because when you enter a hiding spot, your position is saved. So when you get out, you hop back into that position. This is the same with Mapbot. He jump scares you and sets you back where you were originally supposed to be. But if you're in Freddy, you don't touch the ground, giving Mapbot no place to save your last position. So when Gregory gets jump scared by Mapbot, it just sends you all the way back to your last saved position at that hiding spot. This is a book for Security Breach, an average encyclopedia for a game. Like these type things, like these encyclopedias. Oh shit! That was on purpose. Why am I wearing headphones, by the way? Like, I don't even need to wear these. Does it make it better if I don't wear them? You like to see my ears? I'm never doing that ever again. But this encyclopedia is for Security Breach, and it looks pretty standard. But I don't feel like paying $10 just for like my subscribers, which I don't really care that much about. Imagine the book. Imagine I'm holding the book. There you go. So yeah, I guess next segment. Here. Why don't you come with me on a little adventure? joke makes no sense to what I wrote. It says, okay, so you might notice I'm not in my house because, in fact, I'm not at my house. Like, what the frick is that? I am outside because this section is about the outside of the Mega Pizzaplex. You guys thought I didn't go outside, huh? I mean, kind of don't. I mean, I'm outside right now. Why are you recording me like that? What's cool is that the outside of the mall is actually pretty modeled in this game. But it's weird, because you think it should be like, since it's a big mall, it should be a huge parking lot. But no, it's like some like scenic like forest with a mirrored road for some reason. There's like a small ticket booth outside, but like it's nothing compared to what they would need for the budget of the mall. It's way too small. There's no real sign for the mall like they would at, let's say, Chuck E. Cheese. Well, technically Chuck E. Cheese's, but you get what I'm saying. But it's super funny because some of the textures are one-sided, so they kind of just look like that. I think they also just kind of copy-pasted the same tree model all over the place. Why? Make a tree model. They also have some street lights which look pretty good, but you know, this is nothing for the size of an 8-story giant mall Disneyland. But since we only see a little bit of the outside of the mall from the inside and like a portion of the game, I don't think I mean, I can see why they didn't model it too much, right? So yeah, I don't know. Bro, what the heck? So yeah, I don't know why there's like even an outside modeled. Yeah, I think it would be cool if we could have gone outside at some point, but I guess not. Gregory's kind of like me, he likes staying inside all the time for like, I don't know. How long is security breach? Like 11:30 to 12. Stop walking. He likes staying inside, okay? He's a homeless kid in a giant home, okay? That made no sense. All right, now that we're back, I have no idea what this is referring to other than the ending where they're eating ice cream. A Redditor made a post, which is probably what this is referring to, but it's lame, and it says that the ice cream is like symbolic for stuff. Again, that's lame. The theory is that Gregory has a Freddy popsicle because of Fredbear, and Vanessa has one similar to Elizabeth's ice cream, paralleling all this stuff. And it's like adult theory for sister location. It's irrelevant. Security Breach was actually delayed on the last day before release. For me, it was going to come out at like 5 p.m. for me, so I was chilling in school, hyped as much as a kid that got a new Lego set, and they ain't never gonna use it again after they build it. I watched 8-Bit Ryan's and Dawkos playthrough, and I was really excited for the game's release in a couple of hours. I was excited for what the game had to come with Glitch Trap and the darker underground elements, which never really happened. This is getting a bit off topic. Anyway, they had to delay till the 17th, which can be perceived at a good and bad standpoint. For one, people could see it as them finishing and making sure everything is great before release, or that they are hurrying to fix all they can before the rushed release date approaches hours nearer, which was probably the later, considering the stable, clean release with little bugs. The Magician Bot is basically a more hidden version of Comedy Bot. Once Comedy Bot finishes his performance, the Magician Bot steps up to do his role, and once he finishes his play or talking about magic, since he isn't animated to perform at all. It is the same Magician Staff Bot model in the sewers representing William Afton though. It's just a bit more dirtied up. A YouTuber called AstralSpiff, who is one of my favorites, he has completed Security Breach without running, jumping, backwards only, without Freddy, using time travel to spawn infinite Monties, and beating the game with no items, which took 8 months of work. So yeah, he's done a lot of stuff. But something else him and other people found is that you can duplicate animatronics, allowing them to spawn over and over again without despawning. And every single one has a different way of doing it. This is crazy. It blows my mind. People can just reverse engineer the coding of a game and exploit it to its limits. It's fascinating. Truly a testament to how game communities can keep things interesting, especially with a game as buggy as Security Breach. There was a walking animation for Chica in the trailers, and in the game they replaced it with a more trying to be scary vibe. That's it. This is referring to another cut line from the trailers where we supposedly hear Monty's voice saying something evil. The reason we know now is because we heard Monty in the game and what his voice sounds like. But before the game released, we didn't know who this was or what he sounded like. So everyone assumed it was just Monty and not Afton because he actually had a line in the gameplay trailer too.
When I first found you, were nothing. You were small, pathetic. But now, you are more. Are you ready?
And in Monty's line, he says,
You will do as I say. You will bring me what I want. And if you fail me, then you will. Both of you burn!
this would have been a really cool thing to have in the story, and I don't know where these things went, and I don't know what the consensus was during Steel Wool's development of the story, but I guess it's just gone. It's a cool voice line too, like, where did it go? Totally unrelated and drastically off course, but I don't care because I just learned that 75% of y'all can't read a clock. I can't even understand how that's possible. So since I know you're too lazy to learn about it yourself, I'm finna teach you guys about it. I don't mean no like digital clock, like that's just the mean. I mean the cool clock, the better clock. Okay, so let's look at the clock. See the clock. Look at the clock. Embrace the clock. Feel the clock run through your soul. So you got 12 numbers, and next to those numbers, you got a lot of little armpit hairs, or as weird people call them, lines. Each little tick is 1 minute. Every 5 ticks is a big tick with a labeled number. So each one of the big numbers you see is that number times 5. So number 4 is what? 20 minutes. Cool. For some reason, I don't know why, but this is a bit unrelated. Kind of unrelated, but not unrelated at the same time. But a bit related, so... Shut up! Get to the point! For some reason, time is counted by, like, 60s in seconds and minutes. But then in milliseconds, it's 100. In hours, it's 60 again. And days is, like, 24. And months is in, like, 30 days. And a year is, like, 12. Like, what's going on here? What philosopher? So here's how the little arms work. The one that's most noticeably moving and the thinnest one is the second hand. It counts the seconds, and every time it goes around, the thick-looking cool hand moves 1 minute, or 1 line. And every time that hand moves 60 minutes, the super short but super thick hand moves. And that marks an hour. And so going around that clock 24 times with the thick hand marks a full day. So that's how you read a clock. Now back to your scheduled television program. During the beginning of the game, entering the maintenance tunnels cues Freddy to say, "I feel you're broken." And Grego responds with something like, "Not right now, I'm fine." And then these lines just end up nowhere and turn out as a way to just reveal Vanessa. But there was an audio or text file or something like that found in the local games files that says, "I feel you're bleeding." Not, "I feel you are broken." This may have been changed for 2 reasons. 1, lore purposes. If they changed and rewrote Security Breach during development, they may have changed Gregory to a robot, which is incredibly lame because then Steel will only made 2 human models. Because saying broken is different from bleeding if you take it within context of a robot. Or 2, censorship. Like they removed Vanny's knife and all that. They probably changed this line due to the game's rating and children demographic. It's a small change, but not a welcome one. Chowda is referencing a multitude of hints and teasers mentioning something called Chica Chowda. It all started with people finding this thing on Steam. I don't know what it's called or something. I don't want to look it up. I've already spent enough time writing this. But we found a title for something called Chowda. Following this, we found more about this as others linked Chowda to chowder, a food kind of like Bread Bowl. And following all this, we got the head lead of Steel Wool, Ray McCaffrey, tweeted the word Chowda. No one knew what this was referencing, but soon enough, on dawkos charity stream, the poster was revealed at the $20,000 goal for Chica Chowda. I was just confused because I thought the DLC for the game was this, and I was so conflicted because they were focusing on Chica, arguably the most, least important member of the team on the Freddy gang, and it didn't even look dark or scary or anything, so I was a bit conflicted about this because we still didn't know what it was really. And then they soon after revealed the DLC poster for Ruin, so now we're just all more confused about what the heck Chica Chowda is. I was searching for this until I found one post about this on the FNaF wiki. Nothing else exists about this topic. It's an arcade game called Butters vs. Pickles in the Mall, containing characters none other than the famous exotic Butters and the pizzeria simulator Pickles that are very hard to get and offer 1 happiness, a stat not available on any other item. This one's just a line Comedy Bot can say, and it reads, "Aren't parents the worst? Any of you kids have parents? Don't you hate it when your parents take you somewhere fun and they abandoned you? They're all like, I guess if I dump little Jeremy off in his favorite pizzeria before I move to Aruba, That makes a good parent. This is paralleling two things in my opinion. Jeremy's death and Gregory. Jeremy being left at the pizzeria and supposedly dying after the bite of 87, and Gregory, whose parents abandoned him at the mall. Maybe. The only thing I could find about this one is this art of a girl in a hospital bed, which isn't crying, but it's definitely bed wall art, so. In the infamous mobile FNaF game Special Delivery, you are fed animatronics at your doorstep for you to get that sweet taste of what it would be like to encounter one in real life. But there's actually Security Breach lore hidden in this game before we even got a teaser for Security Breach. These are messages encrypted and hidden within the secret, very hidden Messages tab at the bottom of your phone. There are a lot of gameplay tips in this, but every so often you'll get a juicy bit of information, like a bit of contracting with Fazbear Entertainment, but most importantly, a scrumptious bite of Vanessa and Vanny lore. And as a sane person would do, we're gonna read through all of these messages. Hey, it's post-editing stop drop, and no, we are not gonna read through, we're not gonna read through the messages. Okay, we're done reading finally. These messages that I haven't even read yet during the recording and script writing that I just copy and pasted explain the lore between Vanessa and a guy named Lewis, or otherwise, Dawko Gaming. Vanessa is abbreviated to Ness as a little nickname, and these are very interesting and are a look into what the lore of Security Breach might have been, along with the FNaF Help Wanted lore. Lols_Hacks is the character from Freddy in Space 2. Surprisingly, he made his own cameo in Security Breach. In Phaser Blast, above the exit elevator, there's a giant Lols Hacks cutout-esque thing. And it was actually quite surprising to me because before research, 1, I didn't even know Lols Hacks existed, and 2, I didn't know this existed in the game. A cool cameo, but I'm annoyed at this bit on the Iceberg because there was almost nothing about this, so I had to watch a Spanish playthrough until timestamp 1322, where Lols Hacks appears and, GG Games exclaims, So this one's interesting. There are a total of 8 security badges to collect in Security Breach, and those badge upgrades are used to access a variety of doors littered throughout the map. But there are actually some secret doors that are very odd. Few of these doors require a level 10 and 12 security pass required, which isn't nice because they unfairly skipped 9 and 11. Behind these doors are the most revealing things we see in all of Security Breach. Literally. Because there's nothing. It's just an empty, black, deloaded void, where you can quite literally see the whole map revealed. It's very strange because there are areas floating away from everything else that are completely built but aren't used anywhere, even behind these doors. This is probably just for lore because the only people who probably even have a possibility of getting through these doors are the highest of high people, like Vanessa or the owners of the place. In various messages around the map, there are rumors about a staff meeting this Thursday night at 11:30 p.m., and all this is mandatory. And there will be cake. No one knows what this meeting was about and will likely never know, so. Next topic! False Alarm is a PlayStation trophy you earn once surviving the broken, awful amalgamation of game design that is the Monty and Roxy office section. Not this one, the other one. I couldn't really find anything on it other than this is a hard segment to clear on a playthrough, or that this title of the trophy is misleading and disconnected from the way you get this achievement. I am not knowledgeable about this one, and I have no idea really what this is talking about. So if you have any insight on what this is talking about, please tell me in the comments or something. In a certain Fazbear Frights book, I'm not going to name it because I don't want to do any more research for this video, and I don't want to like look for what book it is. It's going to go in one ear and out the other for you guys, so you wouldn't care anyway, but now that I'm mentioning it, you will care, so go find it yourself. Go do some research by yourself. Do it for me. Anyway, Snack Space is a little restaurant, and it's mentioned in a book. Quote, "What's that?" Dad said. He was already wearing the stupid red vest they put him in when he worked at the counter at the Snack Space. Oswald wished he would wait to put it on until after he dropped him at school. The aforementioned restaurant Snack Space is actually right here in the game. Look how shiny it is, and pretty it is. Shiny. HAL 9000 is an artificial intelligence character and the main antagonist in Arthur C. Clarke's Space Odyssey series. And he's in Security Breach somehow. In the files, at least. It was probably a placeholder, but it also reminds me of Otto from WALL-E. A weird thing to put in the files, to say the least. The texture name in the files is T_HAL300, if you want to try and prove me wrong. This is Steelwool's first YouTube video. I just thought I'd put it here because it's really funny. Literally me when This is going back to that one earlier thing on this iceberg, referencing Butters versus Pickles, and also relates to the comedy bot Jeremy's death theory. When looking at some of the arcade machines, it seems that Gregory is dominating their high scores using the 3-letter username GGY. He might be staying at the mall more often than we think. If he's beating all the high scores, that means he's going to the mall a lot. But turns out there's no record of him. So he's staying at the mall illegally. Further supporting this, there's a living space hidden inside Foxy's Pirate Cove area, and it looks like someone is secretly living here. And once Gregory leaves the Pizzaplex in the normal bad ending, he has nothing and is homeless because his home and everything he had was in the Pizzaplex. A very good theory that might be true. In the Superstar Daycare, under the stairs to the right of the exit of the play area, there's an ATM machine that requires a removed item. And this is not in the unfinished build of the game. This is the game sold at full price for $40. But using the debug menu, you can actually navigate to obtain the wallet, the item whom activates the machine. Also, if I use the word whom wrong, that's too bad, because I was trying to use a fancy word and only nerds really know how to use that word, okay? The wallet has no icon image, and when approaching the ATM machine with the wallet equipped in your inventory, it says press E to get Crash Coin. And unsurprisingly, the Crash Coin also has no image and was also removed from the game. Maybe in the future we'll be able to get this prophesized wallet. Unlikely, but plausible. Right after the game's release, before the emergency patch, 2 of the CDs were actually impossible to obtain without abusing glitches. This made it difficult for a lot of people who purchased the game to experience all the lore it had to offer in the initial release. This later was patched soon after, like 2 days later, but it was a bit of a hassle off the start. This is a theory that u/Noah Theories made on Reddit. I am not reading this is too long. Pause the video and read it if you really want to, okay? Though not the most convincing thing in the world, it is possible for this theory to actually be what happened, but I really don't think so. Though it is a really cool inference based on the information we have. But the final topic of the iceberg is... This is referring to a similarity between Security Breach's opening and the Chuck E. Cheese show countdown music. Yeah, that's literally it. The inspirations were probably a complete mix of Van Halen's Jump and this other song, and it's quite catchy. It's a banger. With that, that's the whole iceberg. I did it. I've been recording for 2 hours 50 minutes, almost 3 hours. Thank you for supporting, and thank you for watching this full video. If you really enjoyed, please consider clicking one button by subscribing or liking or whatever you want to do. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!